Good afternoon and welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. I'm Brian the Babyface Matroni, and as always, our incomparable host, Lummy Lummox Warren Garrison.
Thank you, Brian, for that great introduction.
And we're joined by a filthy ginger today.
Duh filthy.
Duh filthy ginger, Rhett.
Oh,
he sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike too.
He's on your mic.
There we go. Lummy, I'd like to apologize
Oh,
for coming at you sideways.
kind of like the start of this, so
I
apology.
know. You ever hit some traffic that just puts you in a shitty mood?
I was actually in the same traffic you probably hit.
I mean, what the hell, dude?
Brian-
I know that it's been a little heavier than usual these past few years, but 275 was a fucking parking lot on the way here.
Brian has it nice, where I don't think you hit any traffic on the way over, Brian. If I had to make a guess.
No, in fact, I was laughing because when I pull up to Dex there to go across Cypress to get here, it was like there wasn't a car coming from either direction. It was so nice to just go right across the street.
Nice.
But yeah, I enjoy my my 800-yard commute into here.
Yeah, if you're ever really kind of late, I'm like, well, it's not traffic with Brian, so he might be lawyering.
It's work, yeah.
He might be on the phone. So I totally get that. I was in the same thing with Red. Listen, 275 with that I-4 corridor is a complete mess. I know Brian has probably dealt with that a lot of times. I don't think that will ever be fixed. I don't think it's ever been fixed in our lifetime, and I don't think it's going to get any better. So might as well just deal with it at this point.
I don't know what direction you were coming from.
South from Lutz.
Okay, yeah, I was coming the same direction. My GPS told me there was an accident.
Yes.
I didn't see one.
There was an FHP on the side of the road.
Oh, you're right. They were over on the left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Brian, with this traffic that Rhett and I have to deal with coming in, and if they do decide to build the stadium, which, I mean, have you heard any news on that? Because it seemed like it totally went away.
It's not coming to Tampa. It's going to end up in St. Pete somewhere, most likely.
Waterfront?
They don't want, so Sternberg doesn't want, so here is his game plan. His game plan was to get Tampa to essentially give him a free stadium. They said no to that. Then it was, okay, Tampa, give us help us with a modest stadium. Montreal, give us a free stadium, and we'll enjoy double money from that. And that got shot down. So then it was one more shot of, hey, Tampa, will you give us a free stadium? And that's a no. And so now they're turning back their attention back towards St. Pete. And what they have in their contract is they have the rights to share in the redevelopment, any redevelopment that occurs at the Tropicana Field site. So Sternberg doesn't want to let that money go. And that's why they're looking at St. Pete options again, because they want to share in the redevelopment money for all that land that Tropicana and the parking lots take up.
Now, is there a chance, and I don't really believe it because I know how Stu Sternberg is. Well, I mean, he's worth $800 million, but if realistically you watched how he operated the Rays, you'd think he was worth $20 million. But is there a chance that in his mind he thinks that he's going to do what Vinnick is doing with that St. Pete area, where he made that Water Street?
No, he's not. No, he wants to get that money and then get out. He's not committed to Tampa. He hasn't. I don't even think his family lives down here. He's not committed to this area at all.
That's pretty bad. Okay.
I mean, it is what it is.
I know he's a big New York guy, but I didn't know.
A huge New York guy. I don't even think he likes the Rays.
Of course he doesn't.
I don't think he cheers for him. I think he wears his Yankees hats, and he just happens to own the Rays.
I think he has season tickets to the Yankees.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I really do. I really believe he does.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty bad. But yeah, thank you, Brian, for coming. I know that you have a hectic schedule today.
This week has been crazy, but we're gonna, we'll do a little bit of show here and see what's up.
And thank you, Rhett, for showing up too.
There's not a lot of
thanks for having me.
Not a lot going on in the sports world.
No, there isn't. And just so everyone knows, Brian and Regina will be on tomorrow morning. What time are you guys coming? 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Tune in, and Brian's going to stick around. So that would always be exciting for a nice Thursday to have Babyface on with Regina. Brian, I know one of the favorite segments of this whole entire sports show is when you kind of give your own opinion and worked up. And Rhett, I kind of want to hear your opinion on this too. Did you guys see the All-Star game with the autograph guy?
Yes.
The San Diego
Padres fan who elbowed a little kid
for the Verlander.
Reaching over for Justin Verlander's autograph like he was 5 years old. He's probably, and there's an assumption here, probably a scumbag sports memorabilia dealer who first of all, if he's a San Diego Padre fan, why is he even bothering Justin Verlander? Andy was wearing a jersey.
And a Padres hat, so he's not really that.
Yeah, he was all dressed in case they called him up to play in the All-Star game. But there is nothing more pathetic to me than an adult trying to get an autograph. Like, what a stupid thing to get.
Hold on, Rhett, look it up. Autograph guy at the All-Star game on Google. Watch a little video of it because I want you to see. Yeah, so Brian, sorry.
No, yeah, and one of you, if you can, tweet out, or not tweet out, but put it on YouTube or Facebook, the link, so that everybody can see what we're talking about.
I'm going to put it on YouTube and Facebook right now.
So this guy's reaching over. He's about 3 back in a row, but he's a man, and there's all children trying to get Verlander. First of all, I would have been trying to get Kate Upton's number, not Verlander's signature, but that's just me. So trying to get Verlander's autograph. So this guy is reaching over this kid and like leaning on him, and the kid kind of moves his arm like, "Hey, buddy, watch
Get
out."
off me.
And the guy like elbows him and looks at him and says something to the kid, and then he's
he says, "Get off." Yeah, like he says, "Get off me."
I'm watching that part now where he kind of hits the kid back. What a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Now, Brian, what is your take?
You knew he was a loser because he was wearing a hat and a jersey.
You think he showed up to the stadium with his fucking glove?
Oh, he's a glove guy. The fucking glove guys. Oh, they're just everything about this guy is why I don't like going to sporting events as much anymore.
813-90 Bubba. 813-90 Bubba. I put that video out in YouTube. Red.
There's a fine line you have to walk. If you're at a baseball game and, like, let's say even you're watching the game in the ballpark, a foul ball comes your way. If you're the first one to it, so be it. But if you look around and you read the room and you realize that you are the grown adult chasing after 6-7-year-olds who want the foul ball, like you remember a couple weeks ago at the Tarpons game, that foul ball went up and that one lady was the first one there to get it, and everybody in our section was sitting and staring at her waiting to see what she would do. She gave it to the kid and everybody was like, "Oh, okay," but
there's a lot of guys that will keep the ball.
Optics. I hope that guy did not get the autograph. I hope Justin Verlander passed over him.
They said there has been reports that he eventually did get an autograph from Justin Verlander.
He looks like one of the impractical jokers.
He does.
He looks like
Joe Gatto.
He looks like one of the kids from The Sandlot.
Yes.
Fucking aged terribly.
Someone said he looks like a bizarro George Costanza.
Yeah. Now, Brian, what's your take on getting autographs? And Rhett, what's your take on getting autographs from a professional athlete in public?
Oh, it's
this?
It's pathetic. It's pathetic, and for an adult to do. For a kid to do, okay, I get it. You idolize the guy, but for an adult, it's either you idolize a grown man and you want his name on a piece of something, which is pathetic, or you're trying to sell it to somebody else who's pathetic and wants their name on something, and that's just as bad, in my opinion. If there's no reason for it, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, if you're a collector, and I mean, you go to signings and shit like that, you pay for signatures, the photo op, whatever, that's one thing.
No, it's not. It's stupid. You're wasting your money and your time. It's fucking stupid.
Some people collect, some people turn around and sell that shit. So be it. It's merchandise. People collect shit.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, but
it's stupid.
Again, when you're out in public,
collecting,
that is entirely different. 9 times out of 10, you're not carrying shit around with you that you're really going to want them to sign. Like, I personally, I know you think it's goofy because you think everything is goofy, but like, I feel like if you have a football helmet or a piece of merchandise
are you carrying this football helmet around with you just in case you do find the guy?
No,
but
that's
why
fucking
do you
weird.
Need Mike Evans to rub his name on something that you own? Like, what? Why? What is the point of that? What joy do you get out of that?
You don't have do you have a favorite football player?
I like football players. I don't idolize them. I mean, they do a job. Okay, they do a job. Like I got the favorite guy, my favorite bartender that works at the bar. I'm never going to ask him for his autograph.
I mean, I don't disagree
He does a job.
with you.
He's another person. He's another human being. I wouldn't do it to a star either. It's stupid.
Brian, did you ever collect baseball cards?
When I was a kid.
Okay, no,
like
I'm
when
just asking.
It's appropriate to collect stupid shit because you don't know better as an adult that it's stupid and it's a waste of time. Yes.
Well, hold on. What are like growing up and like you just see a classic card from when you were a kid and like, maybe you found it or something, it was gifted to you. I mean, would you cherish it or would you just get rid of it?
What do you mean found it?
Like, hold on.
As a kid, I found it?
No, let's say right now, like...
I have a box full. My parents gave me a box full of that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to get rid of it. I mean, maybe just find somebody stupid enough to buy it from me, but it's otherwise it's garbage.
Well, I'm saying it's like if you went through your box and let's say you found, hypothetically, like a, Mickey Mantle card or something, like, would you want to keep it or would you just sell it?
Oh, sell the fuck out of it if I had it at this point. Why keep it for what?
Well, sometimes it goes up in value because of obviously other people. So
keep it and sit on it to hope that it gets to be worth more, maybe. But no, it's silly.
No,
it's silly.
I do know that I believe Rhett has a totally different opinion on this. I believe he is a collector.
Are you a cleat chaser?
No,
that's male. No, I'm sorry, but if you go after athletes' autographs, you are a male cleat chaser. That's what you do. Okay, own it. Because that's what you do. You chase and pursue athletes for something. Certain women do it for sexual reasons, and certain guys do it for fanboy reasons. But you are a cleat chaser.
Well, no, I don't think Rhett chases after for like an autograph. I believe he does it for a collectible option. Which
everything that I own that is autographed, I've got fucking signed in person, like before the age of 14.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, if you keep in childhood, that's fine.
Sure, yeah.
But going up to like an athlete as a grown ass man and saying, "Would you sign this?" Now it's different if you're getting an autograph for your kid who idolizes that. It's okay for children. I understand that And again, if you are into it, that's fine, but you got to own the criticism and the thoughts that come with what you're doing, which is you're chasing athletes for them to write on a piece of paper or a hat for you.
I think doing that in public is absolutely, there's no excuse. Like if you are a grown person hunting down an autograph, to a degree, I agree with you, Brian. Like to go out of your way to chase this person down to ask them for a signature is a little fucking weird. But I mean, if you see, let's say, for example, you see a football player in the mall and you stop them and you talk to them to tell them nothing else but like, hey man, what's up? And then you ask for an autograph, like that's pathetic. That's really fucking weird. I had gone to training camp for the Bucks one year, and it was a group of I think 4 or 5 of us, and we went to the press box down the road afterwards, and Devin White was in there eating, and someone from our fucking group walked over there and was like, hey man, I just wanted to do.
Yeah, you don't do
and
that.
he kind of got shooed away, but that's like a cardinal sin. That is the worst possible interaction I feel like you could have with any person, athlete, celebrity, whatever the fuck, whatever regard.
A Buccaneer sin. If he did it in Arizona, it would have been a cardinal sin.
No, Brian. And I mean, what's your take? I know.
I'm mad that I laughed at that.
It was good. It was good. But what would you do, like, for a pitcher? What if you're at an event and he's there and it's like paid for a promotion? And you just get a picture?
I feel like that's one thing too. If you're supposed to be there,
I mean, a picture. I don't even know. I may go up and just say, "Look, I really appreciate what you do. I'm a fan of your work. You're a great pitcher." But even then, I don't. But
what
if
he's like, "Hey, do you want a picture?" What if he asks you, "Do you want a picture?"
I would take I'm not above taking fucking pictures.
I mean, maybe a photograph, but even that, it's just a little cringe to me. It's just a little cringe to me. It is.
Well, I know, like with you, with Joe Madden.
He's just another fucking dude. He just does one thing really good.
Well, I remember your story with Joe Madden.
Yeah, I would have never asked him for a photo or an autograph ever.
Oh, 100%. And I agree with you. I don't think you bother any of those guys. I mean, I know it's wrestling, totally different thing. I went to the wrestling hotel, And there was not one single person from all the old school wrestlers like a Ric Flair, who I grew up, I used to like wrestling when I was a kid. Like, I would never expect to sit in there and Wayne Toussaint with 500 stars asking for like an autograph, a picture, anything like that. Like, bother and be a fanboy.
You liked wrestling when it was appropriate for a human being to like wrestling.
Yeah.
When you were a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But as an
These
adult,
30-year-olds who are fucking into wrestling like it's, oh my God
listen,
in
Brian,
heaven.
Sidebar, I think we had this conversation last week, but wrestling fans are some of the weirdest fucking people on the planet.
we had that outside, not on the sports show, but yes, out in the little green room area.
Oh my God,
they're weirdos for sure.
Yeah.
And look,
No, like,
look, if you
the-
have something legitimately wrong with you, right? Mentally or physically.
Well, like,
and wrestling is that's your release. I get it. But if you are an able-bodied, able-minded adult,
you're not allowed to have a release.
No, you can have a release, but to be obsessed with anything is not healthy. But to be obsessed with wrestling, is really fucking weird.
Do you remember Decap that used to work here?
Yeah.
He is probably like the biggest wrestling fan there is.
And that's the type of human being that I would expect to be a huge wrestling fan.
He's a hugger.
So what I was saying is
that's the type of human being that I dismiss that. Like, but if you were to tell me, Lummy, like if you were to be like this, like I was to find out that you were this giant wrestling fanboy, obsessed, everything in your life wrestling, my opinion of you would drop.
100%.
Dramatically.
Oh, listen, I knew when I went into the as people call it, the boys' hotel, like you're in there.
Yeah.
There was not one. I was trying to act like you belong. You don't fanboy it. You don't like take a picture. You just hang out. Luckily, I was back there with the Riddle, and you just act like you belong. You know what I mean? Like
you've been there before.
You just chill. Like, hey, I know. Yeah, all these guys, they're cool. I would never imagine taking a picture. I'm saying, like, if you went to like a charity event, Brian, and let's say Derek Brooks is there,
right?
And you kind of just run into him, and like you've seen other people taking pictures, and you just kind of start talking to him. And he's like, hey, do you want to take a picture? Do you take a picture with him? Or you're like, don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'm borderline on that. Photo is not that intrusive, but even that, I mean, what am I going to do with that? Am I going to go look at it 5 years from now and be like, oh, that was a good memory? I have the memory. So what the fuck do I need a photo for?
But do you feel like that might insult him by not taking that?
No, I think he would be relieved not to have to take another photo with a douchebag he couldn't give two fucks about. And it's not like he wants to remember that moment. No, how would that be insulting to him? It might be surprising to him. He might be taken aback by the fact that somebody's not bothering him for something.
Now, what if you had your daughter with you and, maybe it was like, it'd be a nice picture with your daughter, or no? Because she's not.
If my daughter was into the person, then she can have whatever she wants. She's a child.
Yeah,
that's what
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but not. And I know I teased you for this a little bit.
I know
when you were at the Innings Fest and you were handing your baby to Major League Baseball players to take a photo with them. Like, what the fuck is the point of that, Lummy?
Well, we went there for a concert.
I know, but what's
a paid event.
Like, what's the point of what you were doing? Like, think this through. Like, verbalize this. Explain it to me. Your son has no clue what he's doing there.
Correct.
Your son has no clue who these baseball players are. Your son is probably not going to care at any point in time that he had his picture taken with some of these jobbers.
Well, Ozzie Smith.
That was Ozzie and Fred were, I guess, are
Lou Piniella.
He's not going to give a fuck that he met Lou Piniella.
No, but I'm saying
Lou Piniella held him when he was a baby.
Hold on,
he's not going to care.
It was one of those things where we had tickets. And we were just like, you know what? It would be an experience just to have them out and about. We like bringing our kid out just to be around a lot of people.
And again, I'm giving you a harder time on this than I should. It's not that big of a deal.
It was concerts. Not like I went to the mall and I paid like $50 to wait in line just to get an autograph. It was a concert. You could hear the concert from all over. There was a couple bands that we wanted to see, and we're like, well, instead of like going in the crowd for OAR and with a baby, we're like, well, this is where we would stand anyhow. Well, we might as well stand in line for an autograph and a picture. And some of the guys an autograph.
You should have had little Wilbur crowd surfing. That would have been a memory.
Exactly. But
that would have been something to get a photo of.
Could have gotten pictures.
Baby being handed all the way up to the stage.
Well, And the thing is that hold on, we didn't even go with anything to have him sign either. Like we were like, we actually went and bought a shirt because we weren't even really thinking about it. But I know there was guys in line that had like 20, 25 pictures of like one guy, David Eckstein. And he would be like, oh, you want one? You want one? Like these guys are just wanting to get 10, 15 autographs at a time.
It's pathetic. Like we know what you're doing with it, you loser. You cleat chaser. You male cleat chaser. That's what you are.
So those are the worst kind of people.
Ranking then on jersey guy, wave guy.
They're all, but they're so.
But what's your ranking? Who's the
but
worst?
Here's the thing: you've got such an overlap on these individuals. But when you they're almost a circle, right? It's almost like three circles
like a big
that
Venn
almost fit
diagram.
over. But it's the separation is like zero.
I do think there is some validity though to ranking these out, because which one do you think is the most insufferable, and which one do you think you can just kind of fucking tolerate? Once you get to the event,
the most okay. So the most insufferable.
How many do we have? 3 or 4?
Well, there's a few.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but I go even further. There's another category which is the super fan attention.
I was going to say the dress up guy. Like,
Yeah, we have to make
Dress
sure
up
we
guy,
included
not
that.
just jersey guy. That's okay. Out of all of the things, jersey guy's at the bottom.
All right, I'll take
okay.
it.
Out of all the things, because he's really not bothering anybody else. He's just cosplaying. Okay. So jersey guy's the least offensive to me. Then it would have to be the wave guy. Now, the starting the wave guy is pretty annoying, but even that, okay, he's, whatever. Then it would be autograph guy, cleat chaser, and then it's super fan attention whore.
That's number 1.
That's number 1. That's
Above
the worst.
cleat chasers?
That's the worst.
Above the guy carrying around a box of 50 fucking mini
At
helmets.
least the guy with the box of 50 fucking mini helmets is going to try and make money off
True.
of it.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
handling business more than he is like fanboying the fuck out.
Yeah, it's at least I still absolutely he's deplorable, but he's not as deplorable as attention whore super fan.
I was trying to look up that picture I sent you of the super fan, Eagle fan, Brian. Remember the guy that was in pads?
Yeah.
And Rhett knows who I'm talking about because he
Yeah.
pulled up some kind of TikTok or something from him.
was-
That's a guy that, or even like the guy for the Bucks. What's it? Big Nasty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who announced his retirement from being a super fan.
I saw that on the I Don't Give a Fuck channel. It
Now,
it was big news.
I know that is over. I mean, do you think that the NFL is
Barb
just pandering-
fans in Bubba Army gear are the best people in the world.
Yes,
I'm
they
not
are.
going to
Anything
ever say a
Barb.
bad word about you people. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Especially when they
Exactly.
got that custom Bubba Army jersey.
Well, that's on the side of 60 State Road 60 still.
No.
It was
Who
actually
could possibly do that?
417.
Oh, that's right, 417, the expressway where probably no one pulls over because it's a toll road. But
Nobody
Brian,
pulls over unless their daughter vomited everywhere.
and then you just leave the jersey. I'd love to.
What would you have done? You would have left a stinky jersey in your car for 4 days to
No,
sit
not
in
at
the
all.
heat?
No, not at all.
No, I didn't have a choice.
would've
I've
thrown
already
it out- I
said
would've
I
thrown it
will
away.
pay for another one if I have to.
I would have thrown it away. But the super fan, like now, Brian, now, with the NFL giving that to the Hall of Fame, the NFL Super Fan Hall of Fame,
Ugh.
and somehow Big Nasty is
Twice.
two-time, and which I don't understand.
The
how you can get,
two-time for the two-time, bitch.
I don't know how you can get in the Hall of Fame twice. I don't know how that makes sense. But is that just the NFL like super pandering?
Yes, it's the NFL pandering.
When you single out a single person of the fan base, especially one who
Twice?
goes and does that, you talk about the egos that these people already build up for themselves. Because I don't know, Lummy, if you have ever witnessed like the Facebook groups,
No, I have not, but I have met
the way that people
Captain
talk
Nasty
to
or
each
whatever.
other and about each other, and like the sucking and fucking that goes on, it's incredible.
Brian, I wish this football season. Will you kind of like maybe give a little bit of time, and I would love to go bring you to a tailgate, and maybe possibly we talk to people, and also then we maybe even interview the super fans.
They all kind of hang out in one parking lot.
Exactly, but I mean, we go talk to a couple Jersey guys, and maybe a couple super fans.
It's gonna be a lot of Jersey guys.
I mean, it's the thing I'm worried about is being assaulted.
Do not be assaulted. We will have Rhett there on the camera. I will be there.
We'll have our press shirts on.
Yes.
We can press charges.
Brian, I would never let you get hurt.
All right. As long as you're not going to let me get hurt, I'm more than happy to go around and interview these tools.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I would love you to go up to also to the super fans.
Be a Florida News Network special report.
The guys that are dressed up ridiculously, especially to the opposing fans too, the visiting fans.
Yes.
I would love that because I mean the Bucks, we could probably hate on them a little bit, but I don't really want to hate on obviously local people. But like a Bengal fan. Well,
I don't care hating on local people. That's fine.
No, I'm saying, but I think getting the opposite fan who's probably so pumped up, thinking he's going to be on some kind of local TV or local something, and he's going to trash talk the Bucks, and you're just going to call him out for being just.
No, I will do it artfully. I will make him. He will not realize immediately that I am making fun of him.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Like, it will be done in a way that is artful and essentially him clowning himself.
That's what I'm saying, because obviously he's going to come on and be like, oh, man, we're going to kill the Bucks. We are this. We're going to do this. Blah, 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 blah. And you're going to be like, just kind of like playing it. Oh, yeah, just keep telling me. And then you're just going to almost have that drop the mic moment, too, and see what he does then.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm hoping to see, and especially with good thing we're not playing the Eagles fan. Now I would be a little nervous, Brian, for you to come out to an Eagles game.
No, their fans are complete and total human trash.
Yeah, I mean,
they're fucking soft.
They may be soft, but they are human trash.
Yeah.
Oh, are we allowed to say that?
Human
YouTube, trash.
Yeah. No, I would not. Let's just you know what? Let's just not saying that because I mean, let's just go with maybe Carney on that or something. I can't. Brian. You're a lawyer. You should know all this.
I don't. First of all, there is no way to know all the rules. Okay, and I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think we'll just leave it alone.
I took the TikTok down. Brian takes the Facebook down.
It's all over.
Everybody gets a notch.
Oh, what? Let's. I was trying to find the.
You had it. Hit it again. That was it. Was it not?
No, that's the disclaimer. But okay. But Brian,
Philly is the most disgusting city in America.
Okay, I think that's totally allowed to be said.
Okay,
and I think it's only.
I think Facebook
worse.
even agrees with you on that one.
Yeah. I think the. I think the only person that kind of gets a little insulted is Gold Egg Layer, who's from.
I think we're allowed to say it. We're just not allowed to monetize it. So as long as this isn't like our like as long as Bubba doesn't monetize the clip on Facebook, then it's okay what I said. Because the dog clip didn't get taken down. The dog clip just wasn't allowed to be monetized.
Yeah, we'll just move on from that. But yeah, I would love for you if you could, just clear one of your Sundays on maybe one of those good games to interview some people.
We could do it. I mean, I don't know if we can. We're going to be pretty preoccupied. I was going to say we could do it the Packers game.
No, Packers. I'm saying like a different game.
No, because all they do is wear stupid foam cheese on their head and whatever. It's stupid, but
not necessarily those guys. I just meant walking around.
No, I mean because I think we're going to have so many people coming up to the tailgate that we could probably grab people at the tailgate.
Yeah,
I'm thinking one of those good games that Brian can get prepared for, and I mean because the Bucks have a very good schedule.
It's front loaded, but yeah, and I don't want to be out there in the
heat,
the hellacious. I'm thinking like something first week of November, maybe that. Well, the Rams aren't going to have fans out here, and the Ravens, they really don't have fans.
Do a Sunday night game.
We only know one fan for that.
Prime time.
Hey, why don't we go to London and do it there for the Seahawks game?
Germany.
No, it's Germany. Which I was going to bring up. I was going to bring up Brian. With Germany. You guys.
The Bucks Saints game. That would be.
The
it's
Saints
a night
do dress
game,
up.
But it's a night game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what's the matter with the night game.
That would be better for you, Brian.
There's really, quite honestly, there's not a great game to do it.
Well, the night game, Brian, we could get there around 4 or 5 o'clock.
We'll just have to carry around a big ass light to film with. If we're
we'd be
he's saying we'd be filming early because the fans arrive early.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
And we go to the different tailgates for the Saints because the Saints dress up.
Yeah.
And they do travel pretty well.
Yeah, the Saints.
That's the other problem is getting.
Talk about the other nastiest sports city in America, dude. New Orleans is the smelliest, stankin' ass.
Yeah, but at least it has something redeeming about it. Like Philly is disgusting and it has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I guess it was where our nation was founded.
Well,
blah blah blah.
The Liberty Bell.
Yeah, the Liberty Bell.
What in New Orleans is?
Oh, it's
redeemable.
fucking. It's a party. It's a party zone. You party there.
Yeah,
in Philly,
shit in the streets.
I mean, people vomit and puke in the streets, but chicks are showing their tits and it's a party.
Chicks show their tits in Pasco County.
No,
okay,
not like dude. You're comparing Pasco to New Orleans.
It's not that far.
Have you gone
off.
to Bourbon Street for a party? Have you gone there for a Saints game?
Thank God I have not.
I will tell you. it ruined football for me because it was so electric being in the Superdome there that it was incredible atmosphere for football. You talk about people that truly love and put on for their city. Saints fans are that. Now, they also dress up and they're silly, and that's still silly, but that stadium was as loud as any place I've ever been.
You think it's going to be just as electric with Jameis Winston under center? Drew Brees no longer there, Sean Payton gone, whoring himself out to other markets?
No, it'll be tough.
But I think the stadium does help it. I mean, I went to an Atlanta game in the Georgia Dome. They were kind of not that good that year.
Was it when they got fucking beat like 56-7?
No, I didn't go to a Bucs one. It was an Atlanta Rams game. No, sorry, Atlanta Patriots game. And Steven Jackson it was not like Samuel Jackson kept saying "rise up," and that was like the whole that was about it. That was about as loud as it got. But it is what it is. But I wanted to, since you guys brought up the Bucs Seattle, I wanted to see your guys' take with the 750,000 people they said were on there waiting for a ticket. Now, does that give the NFL more push to try, because they sell out in the England, and now Germany is showing 750,000 people for one game on it? Now, is that the Tom Brady effect?
Well, no, that was also so those are the two markets that did really well when they had NFL Europe. I mean, those are the two countries where the teams were really supported well. They could sustain a franchise there, but it has logistical issues. So I think the NFL is just happy. I think part of it is the novelty of it, right? That you've got the rarity. It's 1 or 2 or maybe 3 games a year now, but you wouldn't have that level of fervor for once the initial lore of it wears off. Seasons 3, 4, 5, it's still going to be second fiddle to their football.
So you don't think if they technically got a team?
No, I think they would do. The team would do well because it's an entire. You're going to only have one team in the whole country. But it's the logistical issues that are present. I think ideally you would have 4 teams over there and be able to have kind of its own division.
Own conference division?
Division. Yeah.
The Bucs are also this year, they lead the NFL in distance traveled miles by a good amount just because of that trip to Germany. They'll be going coast to coast a few times as well, but aside from that, you would be surprised to know though, in Germany, a lot of the U.S. football fans over there are Bucs fans. There's a pretty large group of people who like Tampa Bay over there for some odd reason, and it's been like that since before Brady got here too.
No, they've got a good following. Part of it is the Glazers own Man United and Tampa Bay. So they've been willing to travel over there. That's the other thing is their ownership's been willing to give up a home game in the past to get that money and the exposure over there because they sell jerseys and they become fans of the team that's there that they're watching. That's just the nature of it. But
now, do you see down the line at some point? I know they've experienced in Mexico City, which would be a lot easier. I don't agree that they should get a Mexico City or a Mexico team, but do you see where the NFL possibly at one point could almost build a conference or have an international? I mean, you can't
league? It's tough. They could do that, and they've done it. They had NFL Europe,
but I mean, with a team or teams that could actually get NFL free agents, and it would be still technically part of the NFL.
I mean, it's not a part of the NFL. It would be a subsidiary, but they could. They're going to do what's best for money, and if down the road having more of an international audience makes a difference, they'll have a team in Mexico. They'll have a team in Canada, a couple teams in Canada. They'll have teams in London and Berlin.
So how many teams could they put? I know they could put a ton in Canada with being so close. But how many teams could they put in Europe? That would make sense.
4.
That's it.
Make a division out of it.
Yeah, you'd put 2 in the UK and two in Germany.
No other country there.
No, no other country's going to support it. France would grow weary of it, and Spain, Portugal. I don't think so.
It's even kind of hard for me to imagine, like, if it's going to be a part of the NFL in the U.S. that's based out of the United States, it's hard to imagine that going beyond North America. Like, I can see a franchise in London, or I can see a franchise in Germany, but I mean, the reason that's been stopped so many times before is because of all those logistical reasons you talked about. So unless they go all in with a division, I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to be one. They're not going to have a team in London.
Right.
It won't be a team. They're not going to be out there on an island. It'll have to be 4 teams. And if you do it that way, I mean, that is doable because you have them play their divisional games, then you bring them, over here, and you've got teams going over there, and you play a couple of games while you're over there, rather than being gone for 1 week. You're maybe over there for 2 weeks. Playing 2 games. They can do it. It's doable. It's just logistically it is tougher. And now you're expanding. You've got more teams. You got 4 more teams at least, and so they will go where the money is, and it's always about getting more TV dollars. So,
do you ever think there will be a team in Dubai?
Live football.
I don't think so. I think that's too far.
Even with that,
they would just start, like you said, they would do some sort of international offshoot at that point.
Now, what about
because the other thing you don't want is to spread your talent so thin, right? So what the NFL has going for it right now is these teams are all competitive. They all have the best players in the world, and the talent disparity between a Pro Bowler and a backup is at an all-time low. You start spreading those players out, and all of a sudden you've got guys starting for teams that should not be starting in professional football. That's the other issue is talent. I mean, QBs, let's be honest. I mean, they can't find 15 good ones right now. Are you going to find 40 good ones? That's tough. Is you're diluting the product, and that's also a consideration for them.
Yeah, but do you see that's kind of where the commissioner is trying to go almost? It seems like he is trying to do that.
I mean, they try. So with NFL Europe, they didn't pull the plug on that quickly. They tried to grow the sport, and I think only like 1 or 2 players ever actually from those countries made it onto NFL rosters.
Actually, from the country,
yeah. Like I think there was a couple German guys that made it to the NFL on the lines.
I think you are. Yeah, I think you are correct on that one.
And so the problem you have is they're just taking talent from us. It's not like they're producing their own talent to make it to the NFL. Now you got to give it a generation or two really to play itself out. But I don't know if the NFL wants to do that. They've got a really good product right now. Any year there's 12 teams that could win the Super Bowl. Realistically, there's like 6, but
at this point,
you got to have the quarterback. If you don't have the quarterback, you don't have a chance. But this next wave of quarterbacks is coming up, and we're seeing that more teams do have a chance. Perfect example being Cincinnati last season. So,
I mean, I think I think Cincinnati was an up and coming team. I think like this year, if the Lions made it to the Super Bowl, I think that would be more of a surprise.
Oh, are you kidding? Of course it would be.
I mean,
the surprise with Cincinnati was not, Burrow obviously was a good quarterback. It was how does he come back from a devastating knee injury with no offensive line? And the kid was miraculously able to do it and
without
survived.
a line.
Still with no line. I mean, he was sacked like 67 times. It was absurd. He was getting sacked like 4 times a game.
How many times did Tennessee sack them that one game?
9?
9 fucking times.
Yeah.
The
fact that he survived the season, he would not have survived in 1995 NFL.
Oh, they would have just cheap shotted him.
He would have been out.
Yeah.
But in this NFL, still getting sacked that many times, it's because he was smart. His sacks were smart. He didn't try to do too much running. He was smart about it. He didn't, quarterbacks get hurt outside of the pocket. That's where they're getting injured. If you can take 10 sacks a game in the pocket, and you're most likely not going to get hurt. Now, it increases your chances, but for the most part, with the way the NFL is played now, a sack in the pocket, you can survive. A sack outside, ask Jameis Winston how that goes.
Yeah, your knee's getting blown out. 813-90 Bubba, 813-90 BUBBA, 813-90 Bubba.
Hey,
now,
Lummy.
What?
I was just gonna. I didn't mean to take the topic away from you if you had something really good, but I wanted to get your 2 cents on something. So We're talking football, NFL training camp getting back up. I think the Raiders all reported today. The Bucs should report within the next few days. Report comes out a couple of days ago, and honestly, I mean, this was nothing more than clickbait, but report does come out from Rick Stroud that the Bucs coaches were unhappy with Leonard Fournette bringing his lard ass to minicamp at 260 pounds. Now, he came out and he claimed that he weighed less than that. And let's keep in mind that this was all the way back at mandatory minicamp, 4 weeks ago now? It's been a little over a month. He's had time to drop some weight.
Oh, he had time to put on 20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah. Okay, Brian. Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
I mean, how do you feel about Leonard Fournette, basically? Is that a bad
fine.
look? You think he's fine?
He'll be fine. It's just like a professional fighter, okay? So when a true athlete, an MMA fighter, is not gearing up for a fight, they walk around 20, 30, 40 pounds heavier than what they intend to fight at. It's the same thing with some of these football players. Now, ideally, would he be putting on that much weight in the offseason? No. But he's a professional. He's a great athlete. He will come in
He'll be fine.
to the preseason perfectly fine. His play will not be impacted by the fact that he played video games on Twitch and got fat during the offseason.
I think a lot of people get nervous though because he just signed a fat 3-year deal. A lot of people didn't think he was worth that money, but he gets a solid deal with the Bucs.
No running back is worth that money. There's three guys in the league worth that money.
When you pay a running back the money that you just paid Leonard Fournette and he shows up looking like shit,
I don't think he looks like shit.
He doesn't show up to optional minicamp.
I think it's a number. It's a number. And I think what it's going to happen, like Brian said, I think it's going to be he is going to start losing his weight during that training camp.
I guarantee he's already losing.
I also just want to say that I think he's fine.
Tom Brady is not going to put up with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brady was already on him about it. He's talked about it, and he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Right? I mean, I think by the time the season starts, he'll probably be 10 to 12 pounds lighter.
Yeah. And have what? How long till the season?
5 weeks.
So he's got time to put on
25
pounds of muscle.
813.
25 pounds of muscle. Just think about that. Leonard Fournette weighing 245 pounds, but 25 of it is extra muscle.
813. What's up? Hello? Oh, shit. Sorry.
I got somebody we can sign on the cheap. You guys hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, what's up, 813? I was listening to Brian saying that Leonard Fournette could gain 25 pounds in 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I got somebody for worry. For the first half of the
year. For a tight end?
On the cheap.
For a tight end?
No, tight end. They could play tight end. They could play running back. I mean, even sneak him in there as a quarterback. But, I mean, the guy only won playoff games and has a winning, pedigree.
Are you talking about James Cudlow?
James Cudlow?
Tim Tebow. Let that guy be the running back. Fans love a white running back, too.
Well, we're good.
The fans.
They do love that.
Tom Brady.
Are you saying that Tim Tebow would bring the jersey sales that we have during so you're saying give Tim Tebow a 2-year deal so when Tom Brady leaves, you still have the fanfare with Tim Tebow?
I don't even say 2-year deal. Bring him in on an NBA 10-day contract.
So you want him cut in 10 days?
We're good.
I mean, you guys are so worried about Leonard Fournette.
Let's move on.
Sorry, we're going to have to move on, sir. Your Tim Tebow take was not approved by Babyface. Thank you for calling in, though.
It's not adding anything to the show.
Yeah, it's not adding anything.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. Tim Tebow, he can't replace anybody on the line. He just needs to sit at ESPN.
So did you watch the All-Star game, Lummy?
I sure did.
Now, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was a good game, but it's not fun. It was almost fun if they went to a home run derby tiebreaker at the end. That would have been fun.
Oh, I like that new rule, though.
That's my whole point about All-Star games. This is what we talked about the last show. Stop taking it so seriously. Make it fun. They should be able to, call out and the golden ball, right? And so their runs are doubled that inning or whatever it may be. Make it fun. Make it different than the normal game.
Oh, 100%. I was actually hoping that, like you said, they tied and to see what it would all be about, who they'd pick for the home run derby. Because it is fun. It doesn't mean anything. You got your pitchers going out there throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. You got your pitcher talking to John Smoltz, during the game. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to like take it so serious. Yeah, it was a low scoring game, but you kind of watched some of the best players in the league right now go, to play against each other.
No, yeah, and it would be focus on a player each half inning, like their process and how they get ready and all of that, and really make it more about the players than the game, because that's what you're there to celebrate is the players, and the game gets featured every other moment.
They should just do a copy and paste deal of the fucking Celebrity All-Star Game.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Make it more fun. That's it.
Watch JoJo Siwa crank a fucking home run. Action Bronson was out there yelling at the umpire. They had Angel Hernandez umping that game.
Oh God, that's a funny rib.
I know Bronson was giving him an earful. I fucking loved it.
That's a funny rib.
I was so high on the couch sitting there watching that for a good 20 minutes.
That's to me the Celebrity All-Star Game is more fun than the actual All-Star Game. Like that's way more watchable. Like it's the home run derby's fun. I'm glad Pujols was in it and he got to win the first round there. That was cool.
I think Alonso got a bad seed. I think they should have put the past 2-time
He
champion.
should have been number one. That's ridiculous.
He at least would have made it to the finals.
Yeah.
They set it up almost that they wanted, because if you looked in the beginning, and this is just my conspiracy theory, but if you look before they interviewed anyone else, they literally interviewed Soto, and they interviewed the guy from they interviewed him already. Like, it was almost like, yeah, you're going to hand it down. Then they had Soto with Pujols, and then they finally got to the 2-time champion, Pete Alonso. Like, that should be the first guy you go to.
Yeah. It's all good.
The announcer, I think the Latina announcer, she was kind of like trying to get these like different things out, like when she interviewed Aaron Judge. I don't think that was really.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, that seemed a little like, come on, it's the All-Star.
Did you see that, Brian?
When they asked him if he's going to be playing in New York.
Yeah.
Oh no, she didn't just ask him if he's going to be playing in New York. She said, you got a lot of younger, lifelong fans who have grown up Aaron Judge and Yankees fans. All these, she mentioned like sick fucking kids.
Yeah, she's like little Jimmy at the cancer hospital right now. Yeah. He's only got 18 months to live, and he wants to know if next baseball season, if Aaron Judge, if he's going to be on the Yankees. And he's like,
and he just stood there, and he was like,
And she's like, we're on live TV right now, Aaron Judge. Everyone wants to hear it. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
That was the best part of the All-Star weekend for me. Future Tampa Bay Ray, Aaron Judge.
I mean, like something like that, Brian. I mean, do you see where do you think Aaron Judge is going to go, or do you think the Yankees are just going to sign him some unridiculous contract? I got two people I want to ask you about their contracts.
Unridiculous? I think it'll be ridiculous, not unridiculous.
Well, whatever. Like how ridiculous? Like right now, Soto turned down the 440.
This is what the Yankees are trying to avoid, which is the choice you have to make when signing these unridiculous contracts is. How much do you want to give away at the end?
And he's 30 right now.
How much are you giving? Because these guys want term, right?
So he's 30?
I think so, right?
Yeah, he's old. Aaron Judge ain't no spring chicken.
He started when he was 24. I'm saying in the majors.
I think he's 30, 31, 30, something like that.
I think he's 30.
But how much are you? And Cashman and the Yankees, and especially with the kids owning, the team now, they don't want to be giving away $40 million for a guy who's hitting 220 and only hitting 20 home runs.
Well, that's not, I mean, right now Aaron Judge is having an MVP
No,
season.
I'm saying when he's 40 years old,
like they
at
used
the
to
end
do.
of his contract.
Yeah.
It's that's the problem that they're having, and that's where the hang up is for the Yankees. They're willing to give him a little more money per year with less term, but he wants that super long term. That massive deal. And Juan Soto apparently wants it too. Now, if you were the Rays, knowing that you have 2.5 years left of Juan Soto, would you make a trade for him right now?
He is 23? No, he's 22, I believe.
You have 2.5 years where you get to control him cheap before he gets that monster deal.
And then do you trade him as right for the All-Star break?
Well, it depends on what you're doing. Whoever signed would trade for him at that point is doing it as a rental because he's clearly wants to hit the open market.
Yeah, but no, I don't know because you're selling your whole team because the Nationals are not going to trade him for cheap.
No, you're going to have to do like your top 3 prospects in the minors.
I think you just sit. Well,
the Nationals, he's worthless to them right now. I mean, you're in last place. What good is Juan Soto to you, right? So, yeah, he may be worth something to me, but what good is he to you? So you don't make the deal. You're just going to sit around and lose. He's not going to resign with you guys. He made that completely evident.
The $440 million they offered him.
Yeah, and first of all, stupid on his part. Take the money, buddy. You don't know what's going to happen to you next week. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going to happen to you in the off season when you get into a terrible car accident and you can't really play again, but you got that guaranteed money.
And you put a trade clause in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Take the money and run.
You put a Bobby Bonilla guarantee on that bad boy, and you just say, "Let's fucking go."
So let's get into second half predictions.
Okay, yeah.
Who are the playoff teams going to be in the AL?
Ooh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're looking at the AL, now we're looking at, we can start with a wild card.
Well, let's start with the divisions.
Okay.
I think the divisions are really fucking easy.
Yeah, well, I was going to say.
the AL.
Hold on. I was going to say.
And the NL. They're really fun. This is, well, with the exception of the NL East, this is an exercise in futility. I mean, this is not futility, but it's, well, I guess the NL East and Central.
Yeah, okay.
The two that could go a different way.
I think, let's see if we go. I'm going to start with the West. Obviously, the Astros carry the West. They win that division. I'm going to go with the Twins, carry it. I don't think the White Sox or Guardians are going to make up any ground.
No, the Twins will get out of their rut that they were in right before the All-Star break where they lost 3 games of their lead. They had a 5-game lead. Now it's down to 2.
And I think with the East, I think you're looking at your 2 wild card teams. Obviously, it's going to be the Blue Jays and the Rays. I think the Blue Jays are going to step it up. I think the Red Sox are going to be right there, but I think the Blue Jays offense is just too good, and I think they carry that AL.
Yeah, I really hate this 14-game win streak from Seattle. So you look at Seattle's second half schedule.
Yeah,
their last 20 games are against teams that currently have losing records. Are you fucking kidding me? The Rays, 30 of their last 33 games are against teams with winning records.
Well, you got to
think
it's out of that
30 out of 33, and it's not just division play. They got some out of division play
against the Central though.
Against the Astros.
Yeah,
30 of the Rays' last 33 games.
Oh, I meant the Mariners.
No,
Sorry.
The Mariners have 20.
Yeah.
That's the division, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have to play Houston in their last 20 games. Their last 20 games are against teams with losing records right now. So Seattle, even though I don't think they're better than any of the teams in the AL East, will get a playoff spot. They're probably better than Baltimore right now. That's about it. I think the other 3 teams in the AL East are better than Seattle. Even Boston, as mediocre as they are. Seattle just gets the benefit of playing in a trash division.
You mean the Oakland A's 32-61?
Or Los Angeles, who has the 2 best players in baseball, but can't win a fucking game. Yeah. You have Ohtani and Trout, and you flounder.
And then the Rangers are just mid-range. Right, what do you think? That's Brian's hot take right there. The Mariners are making the playoffs.
Oh, the Mariners are definitely winning a wild card spot.
So you think they take the Blue Jays or the Rays? Obviously, that's my opinion. But
no, I think they take the Red Sox spot.
Oh, okay.
No, I think the Blue Jays and the Rays will make the playoffs. From the Sale going down and needing surgery is killer for Boston. They don't have a great pitching staff to begin with, and then to lose him as he was just getting back into the mix. The Rays are going to get much better.
Oh, they're going to get
second half.
Back.
Yeah. Okay. No, the Rays have had 49 guys on their 40-man roster so far. There's 49 different guys on their 40-man roster so far this year. They've had a different lineup every single night by injury, not by choice. They're going to be their reinforcements are coming. They will get better just by what's coming back off the injured list, and they're probably going to make a trade or two to be in this. It's just tough from the wild card position to do much.
Yeah, I don't get the feeling this year that Boston's going to make some improvements down the stretch. Just like you had mentioned, having their guys go down, their pitching rotation is shit. But
yeah, they don't have the horses coming back like the Rays do.
No,
and the Rays got Fairbanks coming back.
It just doesn't feel like it's going to be it for them this year.
No, and they just, when you watch them play, they don't have it.
Yeah, they don't have that little spark.
They don't have it.
They're just playing They're playing 500 ball right now.
They're just giving up too many runs. I think Toronto will figure it out at some point here. Although they're by far and away one of the most disappointing teams in baseball. Toronto. I thought for sure they were going to have the pieces. They did have the pieces. They do have the pieces. They still have the offense. I mean, it's not like they're not going out there and scoring runs. They're scoring, but you tell me that they'd give up over 400 runs to this point in the season. I think that's pretty crazy.
I do like their one pitcher that was in the All-Star game. He's got some junk.
Yeah. They've got some guys. I mean, it's
they're going to be difficult the next couple of years if they can keep everyone under contract. Now the NL, I'm thinking the Mets run away with the East.
No, the Braves are going to catch them.
I think the Mets. They got some guys coming back from. They got what's his name? They got whatever the hell his name is. Shit, the pitcher, DeGrom, whatever the fuck his name is.
Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah, he's coming back. I think the Mets win. I think the Cardinals jump the Brewers. I think the Cardinals win the Central. That division's pathetic. The West is a little harder, but I think obviously
the Brewers are a better team than the Cardinals. Whether or not they win is another story.
I think the Cardinals have a better pitching staff.
It's close, man.
But I think the Cardinals take it. I think the Brewers make the playoffs. I do think in the West, I think you got the Dodgers, the Padres, and then the Braves and Mets make the playoffs. But I think the Mets.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a situation where you get two teams from each division in the National League, and that part of that reason is that the bottom of those divisions are so bad. Although with the exception of the West, but that Central, how could both of those teams not make it out of there when you've got Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Cincy staring at you?
Or they just gave up.
Yeah, well, Chicago's definitely given up, but 1-9 over their last 10 going into the Washington giving up 1-9 over their last 10.
Well, I mean, they know
Detroit giving up 2-8 over their last 10. But when you're doing that going into the All-Star break, your players have clearly quit.
Listen, the Cubs
quit.
The Cubs got another 80 years because they won that. They know that they have another 80 years out of those.
They're
fans.
the lovable losers again.
Yeah, it's disappointing as a former Cubs fan. That they are just completely sucking it up. But I did want to ask you about the contract with Soto. I mean, I know you were saying that he should go, but I mean, do you think he's worth that much money?
I don't think anybody's worth that much money. It's an overpay. I don't think Mike Trout's worth that money. He's the best player in baseball.
I actually said that on the show.
I would rather have...
Pup asked me, and I said I don't think anyone's worth that amount of money, and I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's an elite player that is going to hit 400 and hit 50 home runs a year.
I'd rather have 3 2.5 WAR guys than 1 7.5 WAR guy.
Yeah, small ball.
Yeah, it's injuries. So you're putting eggs in a basket there, right? Mike Trout is a generational talent, one of the top 5 players ever to play the game of baseball. Okay, but you can't win. Clearly, you cannot win with one guy.
Well, look at A-Rod with Texas back in the day. 10 years, $250 million. That was astronomical back then. And Texas was always last place, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I don't like. I like the fact of having a star that fans can rally around and be into and all of that. It's good for baseball. It's good for kids to have that player that's there the whole time they're growing up, a fan of a team to look up to and to idolize, but not at the expense of your franchise, of competing for a championship. You can't do it anymore. The Rays have shown this season you have to have not just a solid major league roster, you have to have a solid 40-man roster.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Red Sox are going to find out the hard way that, guys 1 through 25, they mean a lot, okay? You got to have 1 through 25 to win. But guys 26 to 40 are how you win championships. And so to give $40 million to one guy means you're taking away resources from others. And it's just not good long term for the team. But more power to the players getting the money if the owners are stupid enough to give it to them.
Well, especially nowadays, it seems like a lot of the guys in baseball, they're not playing 162 games. They're playing a good year. You're looking at 140, 150. Like Mike Trout, he's on 10-day DL again or whatever it is.
They're always dinged up.
That's what I'm saying. Like you get these guys that you're paying, 25, 30 million, and they're like just, look, he may be hurt, but a 10-day injury list, and then later in the season he gets 14 days. It's just one of those like you're paying someone that's a superstar when he's playing, but all these guys, and I'm still thinking they're doing performance enhancing drugs.
I mean, you would suspect. Now, the other side of that is this. They're just not playing injured, right? It used to be that they would push through injury and all of that, but now they've got $40 million on the line. So, where's the urgency? So you got a little tightness in your hammy, go sit down. And the team needs you to sit down. They can't afford to lose you for 3 months. So if you're not feeling 100%, and I guarantee you there's mandates for certain players, you're not feeling 100%, you're not playing. And Mike Trout is one of those guys. If he's not absolutely 100% feeling it, then sit him.
Now, do you think that works, Rhett, too? Like, baseball doesn't obviously have a salary cap. Now, in the NFL, if the NFL just went like explosion and said, no more salary cap, do you think guys would be sitting a lot more than playing? I know it's a shorter season. You don't have 162 games. But is that one reason why a lot more guys in the NFL play injured compared to the MLB?
I think it's just a different type of game, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think teams are going to be happy paying these guys the amount that they do for them to fucking sit. Like guys have already for years played through injuries, and you've got better training staff and stuff like that now. But if they ditch the salary cap and teams are already paying guys more than what they're paying now, risky investments are risky investments, but nobody's going to want to give money to a guy who isn't going to make the commitment to play as much as he possibly can because there is less games in that season.
It's not just that. You take yourself off the field, you may have just lost your career.
Right.
The NFL doesn't play around.
Nobody waits around.
They're not. First of all, they're not giving out 10-year, $400 million guaranteed contracts. Okay.
What if they did though?
Oh, then that would change the way the players approach the game.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
Yeah. That was my
They're
question.
not going out there and risking life and limb. They're doing it now because they're playing for that next contract.
That's what I mean.
They're trying to keep themselves in the league.
With the NFL, is it one reason why MLB does it? Because technically they don't have a salary cap. But if NFL did it, do you see let's say Mike Evans, has a little, hammy. Is he sitting out 4 weeks?
There's some guys that are just built differently. Evans is a tough SOB.
Yeah.
Those hammies fucking kill him, though, man.
But no, you would, if you had a guy in the NFL who had a Major League Baseball type contract, 10 years, $300 million guaranteed, he ain't going out there when he's fucking hurt. He's just not. And there's nothing you can do about it as an owner. What are you going to do? You can't. You're paying this guy no matter what. I hurt my hammy. I'm not going out there. Now, not everybody's like that, but I'm not going to, if I know I'm getting paid no matter what am I going to go out there and risk further injury? They do it now because they know that their careers are on the line. Their contracts are on the line. They're always playing for that next payday and to keep their spot. But if they had guaranteed money, it'd be a different game.
No, don't you see how kind of like the MLB changed? Maybe it's just me growing up. But it seemed always like the MLB guys were like, oh, they're tough as nails, man. They're playing 162 games. They're traveling. Like
they weren't getting this money.
I know, but has the game kind of pussified now? Because you see it, you're like, you know what? He's going to kind of like pull him. He's going to have to sit out a couple of days. You know what I mean? Like, does that take away from like that MLB kind of like, these guys are just going out and every day they're playing every single day. Now that they're not, I mean, does that kind of take away that manly MLB?
Owners have more money tied up in them. So there's a mutual investment there, right? Like the player doesn't feel forced to have to go out because he's secure. But the ownership doesn't want the guy getting seriously injured. You'd rather have Mike Trout take 10 days to heal up whatever little injuries bothering him than to have season-ending surgery. So you'll take 125 games of Mike Trout. You'll take losing 40 games every year versus losing an entire seaseason or a season and a half.
But isn't that kind of what the NBA is doing with like LeBron and all those like the
maintenance days?
Yeah.
The problem I have with it, especially in the NBA, is that these players in the NBA are massive draws, right? You only got 5 guys on the court at any time for each team. And so when LeBron James sits out and that kid who got those tickets for Christmas from his family that scrimped and saved to get him great seats to see his all-time favorite player, and then that motherfucker sits out the game because he doesn't want to overdo it, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that load management bullshit, I hate it.
I hate it. It's terrible for the game, and it's what kills the sport, right?
Oh,
because now I'm a kid, and I'm like, fuck LeBron James. This is all I wanted. This was my big Christmas gift. This was my chance to see him. This was his one game in Milwaukee this season, and he's not going to come out and play it?
Did you see the highlights of him playing fucking janitors at G League last week?
Yeah, he was doing that at the high school thing. I forget what it was called.
I think it's... Oh, it's not G League.
No, it was
Drew League.
Drew League. Yeah.
But they almost fucking lost. He had 2 NBA All-Stars on that team. It was him and I think Kyrie Irving, and they won
Kyrie
by 2
didn't
points.
show up. They were going to be on different teams, and
I could have sworn they had another
Kyrie
guy
didn't
on
show
that team.
up. Yeah,
But Brian, when you see that,
Was it DeRozan? I think DeMar DeRozan went.
I don't like the NBA at all.
I don't like it at all
the NBA. But when you see that, let's say as a fan, and like let's say I'm an old school basketball fan, and I say old school, I say 90s and 90s and 80s and 90s, I guess. And you see that, and you see this guy that he's making that much money, and other NBA players making that much money, and they're only playing, let's say 60, 70 games because they got to maintain or do whatever. And then you got them playing in this bullshit summer league. Like,
well, and I
mean,
think the worst part, and I guess this has just turned into a drag LeBron segment, but like
I'm not even saying LeBron.
It's not just LeBron.
Yeah, there's other.
This is a league-wide pandemic on load management, and it's complete and utter bullshit.
But they're playing in some bullshit summer league that no one gives two shits about.
Like, how much money did the Nets just pay fucking Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, for all of them to play, I think, 30 games together in 2 or 3 years that they were there?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's unacceptable.
And now KD gets to negotiate his way to pretty much wherever the fuck he wants to go.
And you're a sucker if you're giving that league your time and money. You're a sucker. Okay, at this point, if you're going to continue to support that league with the way it's being run, you're a sucker, and you get what you deserve. There comes a point now where it becomes the reality of the sport. And so if you're going to continue to support the sport, then that's on you. It's hard to tell your son, though, when LeBron's coming to town and he's his favorite player, or Steph Curry's coming to town and he's his favorite guy, that we're not going to go see him. That's tough to, hey, he may not play, so I'm not going to buy you tickets. Of course not. You're a dad. You want your kid to go see the game. You're gonna pay them money. But then for them not to show up, it's tragic. It's tragic. And it's such a star-driven sport, more so than any other game, right? Baseball, okay, Mike Trout doesn't play. That's disappointing. He's hurt. He's not taking they very rarely take rest days for load management in Major League Baseball. They're either hurt or they play.
Yeah,
and I get
exactly.
It's a different sport, but having when you've got guys that are worth $40-50 million contracts, they better be on the fucking field playing as much as they can. And I would feel personally responsible to the fans as a player and feel like I owed it to them to be out there playing if I was getting that type of money.
That's why I don't think the players give two shits anymore, especially in my opinion, the NBA. Like, can you imagine, Orlando, the Bulls back in the day, they maybe play twice in Orlando, and you get it, like you said, a ticket, and you want to go see Michael Jordan, and he sits out.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you just, as a kid, you just be like, I don't give a shit about this guy. Doesn't care about me. He's not even hurt. He's taking time off. That's a mentality that goes in your head. You're like, well, why am I going to go bust my ass? This guy's making $40 million and he gets to take off all this time. I don't know. I just find it pretty shitty.
I think
LeBron is not a scumbag. Let's be clear on that. He's a good human being.
He's a good
father. He's a humanitarian.
Oh no, I just say like he's professional,
a philanthropist. As a professional basketball player, you cannot like him, but don't call him a scumbag. That's out of line.
I think the biggest problem a lot of people.
You're talking about Chad.
The biggest problem a lot of people have with LeBron right now is like the MJ versus LeBron debate has been going on. We're probably gonna fucking keep hearing it, but the pedestal that LeBron publicly puts himself on time and time again, just to like turn around and almost use it as a crutch sometimes. Like whenever he gets upset and he walks out of a fucking press conference and like he grabs his little bag, he stops answering questions, stuff like that. One of my favorite things that people pick on him for is that every time you see him reading a book, he's on like the first 8 pages of it.
Listen, he's a slow reader. He likes studying the book.
Right.
But like Brian said, he's not a scumbag. I didn't say that, bro. I thought you meant I called him a scumbag.
I don't think he's a scumbag. He's done a whole lot for the city of
Somebody in
Cleveland.
chat called him.
I don't think that's
just ridiculous. There's so many scummier people in professional sports making money. He's not out there doing really bad stuff like
he's
like the one guy from the Hornets.
He's no Jackie Moon though.
No.
Well, Brian, I know you do have to take care of your daughter, but I did want to cover that LIV real quick, the Live.
Yeah, they're pulling more and more players, man. It's happening for them. They're not getting any of the huge names yet, but they just took the Ryder Cup captain, Henrik Stenson.
Yep. And
so he's out of the Ryder Cup as the captain. The European Ryder Cup is getting decimated with defections. They've lost Sergio, Paul Casey, Henrik Stenson, Lee Westwood. they're falling off pretty quick.
Isn't Ricky Fowler about to jump ship too?
Very well may. They are they're pulling players. This is what the PGA was afraid of.
When are they going to run out of money? Because this does not seem like
it's Saudi Arabia. Kid.
They're not. Yeah, they've got like 2.5 billion ready to spend on this.
This just doesn't seem like a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't seem like
it
doesn't seem like a great business model.
Well, guess what? Put it this way.
It's not a business model. It is it's a public relations sports. They call it sports washing, where you use sports to kind of hide the dirtier side of your country.
Oh yeah, of course.
But when our leaders, here's my point again though. When our government and our leaders are meeting with their leaders and paying them respect and showing them respect, and they're still allies, you cannot get mad at professional athletes going to make money for themselves.
And put it this way, I guarantee at this point, if China decided to do another league, that no one would be getting upset with China.
Nobody calls the guys that work at refineries in Louisiana and Texas scumbags for taking Saudi money from their oil. I mean, it's not too much different of a thing. Now, granted, they're not getting paid $40 million, but
all the
they're involved in an industry that is directly tied to OPEC, and they're processing, Saudi oil.
Or a lot of the companies that have invested with Saudi, or Saudi invested in those companies. So
again, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? And in this case, the game is the U.S.'s ongoing continued relations with Saudi Arabia. If you want, the government leads that issue, and nobody in our government wants to cut ties with them, period.
No. And
no, it doesn't matter what side, red, blue, gold you are, they are perfectly comfortable continuing to deal with the Saudis, regardless of their human rights record.
Now, with Rhett saying that it's not sustainable or whatever, Rhett, they don't even have a TV contract. And TV contracts, the more they pick the players off, their TV contract's not going to be big.
They got David Faraday coming over now. No, I'm serious, but he's...
Do they?
Yeah. They picked off Faraday as an announcer. The TV contract's going to be tough for them, but they can go with a streaming service.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah. Yes,
Amazon will pay for it at some point. And so everybody's watching and seeing, and they're doing what they need to do. So yes, a lot of these contracts are loss leaders for them. But the idea is not this season or next. This isn't the XFL. Okay? This isn't a rich person or two that is trying to make something happen. This is a government that is worth trillions of dollars backing a sport and is committed to it.
Who has the disposable income?
Yeah, I mean, this isn't anything that they're worried about. If they're worried about it, they'll increase their production of oil by 1 million barrels for a month, and boom, it's paid.
So with that said, do you think LIV is a thing 5 years from now?
I think it very well could be. I think it could be the preeminent golf tour 5 years from now.
And what they're doing.
If they continue on the trajectory that they're going, which is to try and improve the game, to try and make it more interesting, to try and make it more fan-friendly, to try and make it more approachable. If they continue on that, then it could be 5 years from now, who knows?
And what Ricky Fowler said too, he's like, I'm not being treated good enough, because what they're also doing is they're showing the planes, the amount of money people are making, and it's real money. And it's
Henrik Stenson is about to sign a 2 or 3 year contract with them and make $40 million guaranteed.
Exactly, and
his career's over. Yeah. He's not going to make any more money. He's going to be scrapping for $1 million a year on senior tours and things like that.
Generational wealth.
And he's going to be traveling. He's going to be traveling a lot more than what he would do for LIV, and he's going to make 40 times the amount of money.
It's so easy for everybody, and these sports journalists and everybody who isn't offered the $40 million, $100 million that these guys are being offered, to be self-righteous and say, oh, it's dirty money, don't take it. It's a whole lot fucking different when you're being offered it. And you're Ricky Fowler, and you haven't won a tournament, and you're not showing any signs of winning a tournament for the foreseeable future, but you're still going to get $60 million to go over and play golf for 3 years with the Saudis. That's... Again, it's generational wealth. It's life-changing money. This is stuff to make these guys rich, not just wealthy, rich.
Now, is the Charles Barkley thing true too with LIV?
What about him?
They want to bring Charles Barkley over for their commentary.
It's genius. Everybody loves listening to Charles.
And they
He's
said that
ratings. Chuck is ratings.
He is.
It doesn't matter what he's doing. He was on the Lightning game that one night.
He has appeal to all races, all genders, all political affiliations. He's a real guy. He is a product in and of himself.
And he said he would leave inside the NBA if he did join Live.
Well, they're going to give him $20 million a year to come commentate for them. Guess where Charles Barkley's going? Because he didn't make that type of money in his playing days. Not like the guys today.
Nope. But he did say on the Pat McAfee show, I don't judge other people. If someone gave me $200 million, I'd kill a relative.
Well, I wouldn't kill anybody for $200 million, but I get what he's saying.
He's saying,
at some point, morals and scruples go out the window. There is everybody has a price, just like Ted DiBiase used to always say. Everybody has a price, and that's true, man. It's what is everybody's price? It's easy to say, I'd never take it when you're sitting on your couch picking your nose watching these guys golf. But if you had Live Golf coming to you with a $50 million guaranteed contract and you were the 36th best golfer in the world,
fuck yeah, you're going to leave.
Fuck yeah, you're going to
leave.
You're
going to be the 46th best golfer in your whole year. You may make $1.7 million. Yeah, that's really good money.
The average
really
Joe,
good money. But if you get $20 million,
yeah,
you're gone. Let's say $10 million.
If I'm sorry, but if Mike Calta offered you 20 times what Bubba's paying you right now, you're gone.
I'm not gone.
You're fucking gone.
That's not true.
You're a liar.
Well, hold on.
You're
20
a liar.
times?
20 times.
That's $1,400 a month. I mean, I'm not leaving for that.
If you were offered 20 times your salary, you're fucking gone, Lummy. I'm sorry.
No way.
Yes way.
There's also a point to loyalty. And listen,
loyalty goes so far. 20 times your lifestyle.
Listen, if he turns Calta down, stays with Bubba, maybe you'll get a $2 raise.
Exactly.
And that's where the loyalty in the
by the way,
run,
Brian, that $2 raise is 30% above what I'm making. It's going to pay off. Now, Brian, if you were like, listen, I'll give you 500% of what I'm making, I might want to come over to you, buddy. All right.
If 20, so just so you know, 20 times is 20,000% of what you're making.
I know.
Okay,
I'm so correct on that.
You just said 500%.
Yeah.
But my point being is that morals, loyalty, scruples, everything reaches. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price, and with these guys, it's big money, man. You're talking about, like you said, the difference of making $1 million a year to $20 million a year. That's a big fucking difference. And if I said to you, you can make $40,000 a year working here, or $800,000 a year working for another radio show, $800,000 a year, that is life-changing money. Okay,
you know how many properties you can buy with $800,000.
You're going to be hard pressed to turn that down. I don't care how loyal you are, because think about that. 1 year there is equal to 20 years here. Okay? So when you're talking about that, that is the point at which most people will say, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, but it's different. It's not like because Live is like.
It's not different.
It's different.
It's not.
It's different.
It's really not. The Saudis kill human beings. Their government.
Every country kills human beings.
Their government their government executes innocent civilians. There is definitely, look, Live is not squeaky clean. I'm not saying they're a great organization. I'm not saying anything of that. I'm saying I understand why these guys are taking their money, okay? I understand why they're taking it. It's dirty money, but there comes a point in time where it's worth it to take it.
Calta does all that same shit that the Saudis do, Brian just mentioned. So, Lummy, that's where you got to get on your moral soapbox and make a decision.
And I'm staying here.
Good for you. And it's easy to say when it's not a real offer. It's a whole lot fucking different when the contract is under your nose. Everybody's got morals and scruples when it's hypothetical. That's the point.
You've seen the episode of Seinfeld where they have to go pitch the show, and then they get an offer on the show.
Yeah, and George turns it
down. And then
down.
George fucking basically backwards negotiates to make it $7,000 instead of $15,000. I feel like that's what you would do, Lummy.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, now Bobby Bones.
We're gonna have to decline.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I'm sure you'd become his lawyer for $1 million a year.
If Phil Campbell offered me $20 million a year to go work at Shoemaker, Loop, and Kendrick, I'm fucking there with bells on. Are you kidding me? There's no way. I am responsible to my family. Okay? First and foremost. That's where my loyalty lies at the end of the day, is to my family. So I love everybody, but if MJ offered me $20 million to go be his show attorney, I would hope that Bubba would encourage me to go take that money. Okay?
And then have you cut him off a little on the backside, cousin.
Whatever I end up doing with that money. But
maybe he just can make some more fake phone calls together. Bring back his
we're jam-packed this show. It's oh, thank God you answered.
Yeah, exactly. See?
It's Milton Fludge Cow.
You've already been practicing.
I'm waiting for the call up.
Have you been sending your tapes over to him?
I'm looking for that $20 million my point being,
I understand what you're saying.
My point being, I wouldn't do it for a slight raise, but you're going to change my fucking life, like 20 years of 20, 30, 40 years of work in 1 year? Yes. And I will tell you this. It's not a matter of loyalty. At some point, your loyalty is to your family. Like Wilbur, you could provide for him and give him opportunities in his life that he otherwise might not have. Of course, you're going to do that. And if not, you question then your loyalty to your family.
Imagine the baseball players you could get taking pictures with them when you're making $20 million a year.
Yeah. You're going to get them to sit on your lap.
Well, listen, I think the PGA is handling this whole thing wrong anyhow.
They have from the jump.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they
had a choice to make. They could fight them, or they could try and figure out a way to cooperate and make it work with their players and their talent.
They should have.
And they've decided to fight them. And so now we'll see how this plays out. I have no idea how it's going to play out. The brakes could apply, but Liv is picking them off every week. There's 2-3 more guys. And I don't know if that's by design. I think it is. And I think the money's going up each time, and the players know this. So the ones that are on the fence are holding out till that next week, that next tournament that they want the news at. But it's interesting. It's going to be fascinating how it.
I think the PGA and the Liv could have worked together. I think it would have been a lot better off because the PGA has their big tournaments, and you just share the players. Because the PGA, I feel like right now they pissed off Liv enough where Liv is just going to now open the pocketbooks up and just say, you know what? Fuck the PGA. We are literally going to then fuck them.
Yeah.
True?
Well, no, they weren't looking to cooperate to begin with. They were hoping. No, Liv. Oh. Liv wants this to be a war, and because
good for ratings,
and it is. It creates drama. I mean, I was interested to see how DJ did at the U.S. Open because he's in with Liv now. No other Liv golfers were up there, but if DJ could have won it, that would have been a huge coup for Liv. That was the whole reason why they gave him, $150 million or whatever it is that they gave him guaranteed.
Jeez.
But again, that's what I'm saying is there's no way. There's very few human beings that are turning that down. Now, the pro golfers who are turning it down, they're going to make $150 million in their playing career. So it's easier to make that decision when you're really not necessarily turning down as much. But you get a guy like Kokrak. I mean, they're making a big deal out of him going.
Yeah.
Jason Kokrak, 36th in the world, and he's probably going to get 20, 30 million guaranteed from Liv. Of course he's taking the money. These guys are fighting to make cuts. Paying their own hotel rooms, paying their caddy, paying their meals, paying their way. I don't fault them.
I don't blame them. Last topic I want to bring up to everyone. It's college football. I was watching.
It's called football. What?
College football.
Oh, college football. I thought you said it's called football.
It's college football.
Okay.
I know I'm jumping around, but
crazy new idea.
I just wanted to know. Mad Dog, Mad Dog, right?
Russo.
Mad Dog Russo.
Yeah.
He came out with his top 5 most storied college football programs.
I mean, this is an easy one.
I know. I wanted to hear
it's super easy.
Well, I want to hear what your top 5, right? Your top 5 is.
All right.
And see what disagree with.
Number 1 is Notre Dame.
Okay.
Number 2 would be Alabama.
Okay.
Number 3 would be the Ohio State.
Okay.
Number 4 would be.
You're missing
USC.
Okay.
And number 5 would probably, it's a tie for me between Michigan and Texas.
Okay.
And that's it.
And Rhett?
It's easy. There's no debate on this one.
There's
6 teams that you can choose from.
I would agree.
5, yeah.
I would agree. I mean, recency bias goes a long way here, so I think Alabama for right now would be number one.
Well, Alabama had a history, though. Bear Bryant days, man.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
Alabama is just... Clemson would be recency biased.
Yes, that's
if you
fair.
went with a
That's
team
fair.
like Clemson.
Yeah. So on the grand scale of things, I'll put Alabama 1, Notre Dame 2. I think I want to say USC 3. Like those teams in the early 2000s, the Rose Bowl, playing Texas. All
Yeah,
that
but they were
shit.
good also with McKay.
Yeah, they were. John McKay had them as winners before he came to Tampa Bay and sucked it up. But I'll go USC 3, Ohio State 4, because I'm not a big fan of Ohio State, and then probably Texas 5 over Michigan. I would say Michigan's like 6.
So Brian, this is
I just pulled up his list.
yeah, Notre Dame, Michigan, Alabama, USC, Oklahoma.
See, you got to go Alabama over Michigan at this point. Michigan hasn't done shit in
No.
I don't think
in
Oklahoma's top
forever,
5.
and I don't have Oklahoma top 5
I don't either.
So his is wrong, but it's not terrible. But to me, it's clearly Notre Dame 1, Alabama 2, and then
I don't know.
I don't know how you don't have Ohio State.
I was
in
going to say
there.
I don't know how you don't. Yeah, Ohio
Like
State
to
up
me,
there.
Ohio State is better than Michigan.
If you have Michigan number 2, you have to put Ohio State. Like for him, I'm saying his rating. If you have Michigan 2, you have to put Ohio State at least in the top 5 because they would battle it out, and that was like the
Yeah.
biggest thing for so many decades.
I've got Ohio State lower on my list, so like Ohio State 4, Michigan 6. I feel like you kind of have to keep them close.
Yeah, that's why I've got Michigan and Texas, I think, right there. Oklahoma's not far behind, but they're not top 5.
No.
They're not top 5. They're maybe 7th.
But like somewhere like now, when do you kind of do that cutoff? Because you look at the Florida teams, and in the 80s and 90s with Florida State, Florida, and Miami.
Florida's going to be up there in the top 10. Florida State's going to be up there. Miami's a little bit further down for me.
80s and 90s, though.
Yeah, but that's it, right?
Outside of that era.
And that's Florida State's problem a little bit as well.
80s and 90s.
Yeah, but they did win into the 2000s.
Let's just take this last phone call. 732.
What's up, Lummy? Hey, Brian, it's Alan.
Hey, Alan.
I got just one quick line for you guys. I think, Brian, you said this a couple of years ago, and I think it rings true for the live golf thing. For all these golfers, from an attorney standpoint, that principal is expensive.
Yep, I've always said that. Keeping your principles is very, very expensive to do.
Yeah. So I think if live works, all these other guys are going to be ruined the day that they didn't take that, and they
because
sit back for their principles.
The early money is the better money right now. They're willing to overpay now, so they're not going to be offering, Charles Howell III $20 million a year in 2 years if they're doing well. They don't need them as much at that point. They'll still get more with live than they would on the tour, but they're not going to be getting this stupid money. Like the rumor is Henrik Stenson getting $20 million a year. Like it seems to me they're just trying, like Lummy said, to hurt the PGA at this point, and to hurt the Ryder Cup, and to hurt these traditional golf formats. And they're doing it. They're doing it. It's costing them a lot, but these are loss leaders for them. But yeah, it's. The stupid golfer is going to be the one that goes over to live in 2 years. That's the idiot.
So that's what I'm saying to your point from a couple where you said principles. I'm saying for the golfers that are holding strong, saying, no, we're staying here at the PGA and everything, and then when the bottom falls out, there's not even going to be crumbs for them to pick up.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not going to be hurting. The PGA is not going to disappear, but it could be greatly undermined by live, and you may see live try and cut a deal with Augusta.
Oh,
I mean, why not? Now Augusta's probably not going to do that because it's the one thing that's like bigger than golf is the Masters. Yeah. But why not? They are clearly thinking outside the box on this thing, and they're playing to win. And the PGA needs to decide what they're going to do moving forward. It's going to be interesting to see. But you're 100% right. Principles are expensive, man. You better be, if you want to keep them, you better be prepared to pay a lot for them.
Well, and the other thing that people don't realize, and I don't know if you know, Brian, but the PGA of America and the PGA Tour are two completely different entities. So
well, yeah, the PGA Tour has their
major
certain tournaments.
That the PGA Championship is not sanctioned by the PGA.
Yes,
Yeah.
PGA.
And the USGA is different.
Yep.
It's all, but yeah, it's all different, but it's certainly interesting. But we got to get going.
Yeah, Brian,
but thanks for the call.
All right, later, guys.
Alan, we already know which way you'd flip flop too, so it's all good. Thank you, Brian, Alan.
What do you mean flip flop?
I'm just joking. I'm just joking with him because he's one way, Alan. So we already know he'd jump for $5.
He's definitely would do it for a Rolex.
Well, at least you're on my train there, Brian. Thank you, Brian. You knew exactly where I was going with that one, and I really appreciate that.
Yep.
Rhett?
Lummy?
You got anything?
Brian?
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Babyface on The Big Show with Regina.
Twitch.tv/The Bubba Army.
Yeah, we will be live tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Twitch.tv/The Bubba Army, Babyface, Regina Hunter, 8 a.m. Don't forget all your Bubba Army merch, Bubba Army Shop, BubbaArmyStore.com. Thank you, Rhett. Thank you, Babyface. We will see you all tomorrow morning. And for Lummy, Brian, and Rhett, we will see you next Wednesday, 4 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See ya.